Hey there, welcome to the Movement Clinic. I am Emily, and today we are focusing on building our way up to Wild Thing. So this is one of my favorite back bends, transitional poses. I just really dig it. It's super fun. It feels good in my body, powerful opening, blah-de, blah-de, blah. It's just great. I love it. So hop on your mat. All you need is you and a place to move. I'll see you there. Okay, so for today's class, we're gonna get started on our backs. Once there, we'll close our eyes and do a little bit of grounding to begin. Sometimes I jump straight in. Today I feel like kind of softening into the class. So go ahead, bend your knees, plant your feet. Place your hands over your belly, maybe one more on your heart center, one on your belly, whatever feels good. You can allow your knees to gently rest in on one another so the low back feels a little bit wider, if that feels nice. And go ahead and smooth out your breath. Notice the places where your spine and the back of your body meet the mat. How the natural curves of the spine lift away from the mat. A sort of S curve that makes up this central channel, this structure that holds us upright. Notice how the low back feels here. Maybe the hips. And notice the upper back. Maybe if the shoulder blades are spread really wide here and the front tips of your shoulders are lifting. Remnants of maybe some postural habits that many of us share. Notice the neck. If the chin is lifting up really high and where your neck meets your skull is fairly compressed. Again, more remnants of our chin and that forward carriage reaching towards a steering wheel or computer or device of some kind. Again, without judgment, just bring an awareness to the state of your body now. The state of your thoughts. Notice if starting today with this tuning in and tapping into the body feels like just what you need, or if it feels maybe even a little aggravating, like you just want to get moving. Notice all the stuff that comes up. Take a deep inhale through your nose. Open mouth and sigh. And again, inhale deeply. Open mouth, sigh. Last one, inhale deeply. Open mouth, sigh. Gently float your eyes open. Separate your knees if they're resting in on one another. Go ahead and bring your shoulder blades underneath you and down your back, especially if they were like mine, were kind of rolling open and the front of the shoulders were popping forward and up. Now, bring your upper arm bones to press down into the mat and bring your palms to squeeze an imaginary ball or block above your belly. Draw the belly button up and in towards the spine and underneath those floating ribs. You'll notice as you do maybe that the tailbone and the butt kind of lifts and the sacrum and flat part of the back lift. Slowly release that effort. Allow the back to come to neutral. And exhale, draw the belly button up and underneath those floating ribs. Feel that, again, gentle lift of the low back and become aware of these sit bones here. Notice how those are sort of reaching up towards the backs of the knees in a really specific way. And go ahead and release with your next inhale. Good. Again, exhale, draw the low belly up and in. Low back sort of flattens on the mat. Sit bones reach up towards the backs of the knees. Now, press into the inner edges of your feet. Inhale, bridge the hips up and em out. Now, take your pointer fingers right where your butt cheeks, very technical term, meet your hamstrings, the backs of the thighs. And now press your upper arm bones into the mat. Keep your fingers where they are and see if you can use your butt cheeks to hug and squeeze your fingers, and if that lifts your hips up a little bit higher. And then release that effort gently. Keep the hips up. Exhale, squeeze your fingers with your butt cheeks. And slowly release that effort. Last one, exhale, squeeze those fingers with your butt cheeks. Hold. Bring your hands back to those little robot arms as your palms grab that invisible ball above your belly. Press your elbows down. Press the back tips of your shoulders or the backs of your shoulders into the mat. Lift your chin away from your chest, but try to lift your chest towards your chin. And exhale, slowly, slowly release down. You can place your hands on your belly or open them out and just rock across the flat part of your back, across that sacrum. Allow the knees to go with you. So this gentle twisting of the low back in particular helps to plump up the discs in between our individual vertebrae, which all of that to say is it helps to create more space in between those bones, and it helps us to actually feel taller and feel more spacious in our low back and kind of take care of that area a little bit. Now, of course, if you have any herniated or bulging discs or anything like that, just move super gently and carefully here. And if there's any discomfort or pain, very particular about pain, back off, move more gently or move not at all, okay? Okay, so go ahead and pause. Hug the right knee in towards your chest. Interlace your fingers on the back of the thigh below the knee. Flex that right foot. Option to keep the left foot bent and planted, or knee bent and foot planted, or lengthen the leg out long. Try to get that nice compression with the right thigh on those ribs. Inhale, press the right leg straight or straightish. Try to keep the thigh close to the ribs. Exhale, bend your knee. Really hug it in. Soft neck, soft shoulders. Inhale, press the leg straight. Exhale to bend. Inhale, press it straight. Exhale to bend. And release. Plant the right foot, hug the left knee in towards the chest, interlace fingers on the back of the thigh below the knee, flex left foot, maybe lengthen right leg long. Again, that's totally optional. As you inhale, press that left leg straight. Try to keep the thigh close-ish to the ribs. Exhale, bend knee, squeeze heel to butt. Inhale, press the leg straight. Again, soft neck, soft shoulders. Exhale, squeeze heel to butt, bend knee. Last one, because I lost count, but I'm pretty sure this is the last one. Inhale, press it straight. Exhale, bend knees, squeeze it to your butt. And slowly hug the right knee into the chest. You can grab the backs of both thighs and begin to rock and roll front and back. I like this, it feels good as like a little massage for those ropey muscles outside of my spine. Of course, if it feels like crap to you, just come on up to hands and knees, all fours. Let's meet in a nice little tabletop position. Spread those fingers wide. Make sure the wrists are turned slightly out today. So pointer fingers are pointing forward, and start to make some nice big circles with your hips around your knees and shoulders around wrists too. So we're gonna warm up these wrists a little bit for some weight bearing. Wild Thing bears weight on one wrist at a time. So let's get them nice and opened up and ready for that. Go ahead and pause, stack shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. Turn your fingers to face out and bring your inner wrists to touch. You can walk your knees back a little bit if you would like, and then really focus on those big circles with the shoulders around those wrists, making sure to go side to side. You are gonna feel pressure in your wrists. It's not a problem. The pressure is not an issue. We are meant to move in all different directions, but sometimes it just takes a little while to train our body to remember what it's capable of. And those capabilities will be different across all people. So worry more about tuning into the sensations of your body and how it feels, and less about any shape that I am making or maybe someone else in the room with you. Okay, so go ahead and pause. I want you to flip your palms to face the sky. Make sure that those palms are underneath your armpits again, so fingertips will not be connecting. There is some space between your hands. I've got about, I'm gonna say 8 inches between my hands, whatever that is in centimeters. I don't know, I'm American. The metric system is not my forte, but you might walk your knees in a little bit to take some pressure off of the wrists. Begin to work towards pressing those elbows straight or straight-ish, and then bending, maybe dipping your chest down towards your fingers and press it straight. Again, coming into some more deep flexion and extension of those wrists, maybe even just rocking side to side. So again, moving gently. There is a lot of sensation happening here for me, but no pain. Okay, so important to make that distinction. And pause, pick up your right hand, make a tight fist and set the palm down. Same thing with the left hand, tight fist, set it down. Untuck the toes, plant the tops of the feet, walk the hands back, sit back on your shin bones. So if sitting on the shins is not possible, you may sit up on the shins, okay? Pad the knees, of course, if you need with a blanket, or you can roll up the mat if you would like. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, bend your elbows, squeeze shoulder blades together, and imagine someone had hooked their thumbs underneath the backs of your armpits and were pulling forward. That's that really squeezing, send the chest forward action I want you to feel. Draw the belly in. Exhale, press away through the palms, stretch the skin of the shoulder blades wide, shoulder blades wrap really wide, flex your hands. And inhale, squeeze shoulder blades together, really actively use those back muscles to send your heart forward. Exhale, press away, wrap shoulder blades wide, stretch that skin. Inhale, bend elbows, squeeze it forward. Exhale, press it away, stretch that skin. Good. And then shake it out, roll the shoulders out. Shake out hands and wrists if that feels good. And come to down dog. So plant palms. Again, pointer fingers more forward here. Tuck toes. Lift your hips up and back. Pedal out those feet. Bending one knee and then the other. Stretching that opposite heel down towards the mat. Inhale, gaze forward, shift forward, plank pose. Lower knees for support if you'd like or need, I'm taking it. Stretch your ears out of your shoulders, drag your shoulder blades down the back and lower to your bellies in one piece. Plant the tops of the feet. Press down into the feet, lift the knees, lift the belly. Inhale, low cobra, light or no weight on those hands. And then again, imagine someone was hooking the backs of those armpits and stretching the sides of your ribs forward. And exhale, release. Let's try that again. Inhale, lift up, stretch the heart forward, lift the knees, and remember, squeeze your fingers or your imaginary fingers underneath the butt crease or the gluteal folds where your tush meets the road. And exhale, release. Tuck your toes, use your knees or don't, but lift front tips of shoulders away from the mat. Drag shoulder blades down the back. Lengthen ears out of shoulders. Lift up and back to down dog. Exhale. Good. Inhale, right heel to the sky. Bend your knee, squeeze your heel towards your butt, and then roll that hip open and lift the knee up to the sky. Lift, lift, lift. If that right shoulder's popping up, press it down. Shoulders will remain in one line on the mat. Inhale, gaze forward. Outside of that right pinky finger, lengthen leg, square hip. Exhale, step right foot outside of the right hand. Option for high or low lunge here. As you inhale, right fingertips to sky. I'll go low lunge. Exhale, bend your elbow, magnetize that elbow towards the back heel, roll the heart open. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, bend elbow, send that chest forward, that same squeezing motion of the back muscles and sending that chest forward actively. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, magnetize that elbow back. Good. Now inhale, reach up and forward, press that front leg straight, half splits, or if the back knee is lifted, modified pyramid. Stretch ears out of shoulders here, lift the low belly, open up the back of that right thigh. Good. Now, from here, floating gate pose. So go ahead and shift forward to a low lunge. So if that back knee is lifted, lower the back knee, plant your left hand, right arm reaches up. You're gonna swing left toes out to the left, float that right leg up and back. Squeeze the imaginary fingers underneath your right butt cheek, flex your right foot, reach up. Good. Now, squeeze your right heel towards your butt. And then squeeze your butt and send your hip forward. Squeeze shoulder blades together, send heart forward. And inhale, lengthen. Leg and arm up high, gaze to the top of the mat. Exhale, step your right foot there. Now, square your left toes behind you. Plant your fingertips inside of your right foot. High lunge. Lift the back knee, press that back thigh up, lift the belly, squeeze that imaginary finger underneath that left butt cheek, lengthen forward, inhale. Exhale, press front leg straight or straightish. Inhale to lunge. Exhale, press it straight or straightish. Inhale to lunge. Exhale, press it straightish. Come back into that lunge. Plant your palms. Press away. Stretch the skin between your shoulder blades and step back to down dog. Inhale, left heel to the sky. Bend knee, squeeze heel to butt. Keep shoulders level and roll that left hip open. Wrap your outer right hip back. So we're really focusing on using the left butt cheek to squeeze as we lift that left knee, but using that as the thing that extends that hip. So really specifically isolating the muscles that make that happen. Draw the low belly up and in. Now gaze forward outside of your left hand. Inhale, lengthen leg, square hip. Exhale, step left foot forward. Let's go low lunge again, or at least I am, but you still have that option, high or low lunge. I'm sticking with low lunge here. We'll definitely have time to ramp it up. Inhale, left fingertips up. Exhale, bend elbow. Feel that shoulder blade wrap around that back as the chest and heart open. Actively send that heart forward. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, bend elbow. Magnetize it to that back heel. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, bend elbow. Roll heart open. Inhale, reach up and forward. Press front leg straight, half splits. Again, lots of length. So ears are lengthening out of shoulders. Dragging shoulder blades down back or stretching the heart forward. Whichever one makes the most sense to you in your body. Low belly is lifting up and in. So continuing to find this sense of opening across the front of our hip and then active compression as we lift belly but reach ribs onto our thigh. Now from here, floating gate pose, everybody. So shift back forward. Everyone meet in a low lunge. Plant right hand, left arm reaches up. You can spin those right toes out to the right as a kickstand for a little bit of balance and literally draw belly in, shift the hips back so you can float that left foot, send it to the back of the mat. Again, we're squeezing both butt cheeks to really send those hips forward. And reach left arm up to the sky. Now, bend left knee, squeeze that heel towards your butt. Press that foot back as though it could reach the back of the head. Squeeze the butt, send the hips forward more, and send your heart forward. Gaze down at that bottom hand. Where is the weight in your hand? Have you lifted to the pinky edge side of your hand? Press down into the L space of your thumb and forefinger. Also pay attention to this bottom shoulder. Is it popping forward? Draw your arm bone back and into the shoulder socket. This is always going to be a thing for weight bearing. Arm bones back and into shoulder sockets, not popping forward, okay? Now, inhale, reach up, lengthen left leg long, gaze forward. Exhale, bend your knee into your chest and step your left foot back forward. Square right toes back behind you. Left palm or fingertips land inside of the left foot. High lunge. Press that back thigh up. Curl the sit bones under so you feel that right butt cheek or gluteal fold clamping down on the back of that thigh. Inhale, lengthen front to back. Exhale, press front leg straight or straightish. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, press it straightish. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, press it straightish. Inhale, find that high lunge. Plant your palms. Really press down and away through your arms so that you, or through your palms so you feel your shoulder blades spread wide. Skin is stretching. Float that left foot up and back. Down dog. Inhale, shift forward, plank pose. Use knees or don't, lower to your bellies in one piece. Remember, heart stretches forward, shoulder blades down the back. Lift front tips of shoulders up and back. Plug those arm bones up and into the shoulder sockets. Good. Now, half Shalabhasana. Press the tops of the feet into the mat so much your kneecaps lift. Reach your fingers behind you. Sides of the neck stay long. Squeeze that imaginary block or ball above your back this time, or low back or butt. Curl those gluteal folds, clamp those butt cheeks down onto the backs of your thighs, hamstrings, lift the low belly. Inhale, lift chest, lift shoulders, lift gaze, press the back of your head into an imaginary resistance, side of the neck stays long. And exhale, release. Inhale, reach back through fingertips. Exhale, release. Last one, inhale, lift up, reach back, stretch the sides of your chest forward, and exhale, release. Plant your palms, tuck your toes, use your knees or don't. Come back to down dog as you exhale. Pedal out the feet. Alrighty, same thing. And a little bit different as usual. Inhale, right heel up. Exhale, bend your knee, open up the hip, really squeeze heel to butt, keep shoulders level, lift that knee higher. Inhale, gaze forward, square hip. Exhale, step forward, right foot outside of right pinky finger, or maybe more in line with the right wrist. You might start to narrow if you would like. Lower that back knee or leave it lifted. I'm going lifted this time. Inhale, right fingertips up. Exhale, bend your elbow towards that back heels. Roll the heart open. Inhale, reach up and forward press front leg straight. And exhale, bend elbow, bend knee. Roll that heart open. Inhale, reach up, press front leg straight and forward. Exhale, lunge, roll the heart open. Inhale, reach forward and up, and plant your right hand inside of that right foot. Fold over the front leg. Now, inhale, shift forward, lower the back knee, right arm reaches up, floating gate pose. Inhale. Squeeze both of your butt cheeks to send those hips forward. Draw the low belly up and in. This time, bend your right knee, squeeze your heel towards your butt, and begin to gently roll over to plant the right toes somewhere behind that left thigh. Press down into the left shin and the right foot. Reach that top arm up and overhead. Squeeze those butt cheeks right where they meet your hamstrings. Good, now inhale, floating gate, gaze forward. Exhale, step forward. Low lunge into high lunge. Plant your right hand. Lift your back knee, step back, down dog. Inhale, left heel to sky, bend your knee, open up the hip, really squeeze your heel towards your butt. Focus on sending that left bony hip point forward by squeezing the butt where it meets your hamstring. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, step your left foot forward, higher low lunge. Inhale, left fingertips up. Exhale, bend elbow, roll your heart open. Inhale, reach up and forward, press your front leg straight. Exhale, lunge, roll the heart open, squeeze that elbow back. Inhale, reach up and forward. Exhale, lunge, squeeze elbow. Good. Now, inhale, reach up and forward, press front leg straight. Let's find a nice deep compression for that left hip as we lift belly, but squeeze our ribs onto our thigh and our thigh into our ribs. Good. Now, lunge. Softly land that back knee. Again, toes can move out to the right as a kickstand as we transition to floating gate. Left arm reaches up, left foot floats up and back. Clamp those butt cheeks down onto the legs. Now, bend your knee, squeeze heel to butt. Begin to send the chest and heart forward. Remember that active sending the sides of the ribs forward as left toes plant somewhere behind the right shin. Squeeze those gluteal folds to send the hips up higher. Left arm reaches up and overhead. Now, often I see the palm flipping up to the sky. Turn the palm to face down. You'll feel your armpit turn to face your chin. You'll even maybe feel a little bit more spaciousness in the neck where it meets the shoulder. Now inhale to floating gate pose. Reach up, flex that left leg long to the back of the mat. And exhale, step forward. Square toes behind you. Tuck back toes. Lift back knee. High lunge. Press down into your palms. Lift the belly. Step back. Down dog. Inhale, shift forward, plank pose. Use your knees or don't. Lower to your bellies, but stretch front to back. Resist gravity as you lower. Now, Shalabhasana. If it felt good enough and hard enough work and enough on your low back, leave the feet down. We're gonna do 3 lifts with a full length of breath to hold in between. So you're either only lifting the upper body and or adding the legs, okay? So lengthen the sides of the neck. Everyone, press the tops of your feet into the mat so much your kneecaps lift. Squeeze those inner thighs together. Reach back through the big toes. Keep that. And reach your fingers behind you. Again, squeeze that imaginary ball as your palms face one another. Inhale, lift up, stay, or also add the feet. Full round of breath. Exhale, release. Again, inhale, lift up. Stretch the sides of the chest forward. Exhale, lift a little higher. Take another inhale here. Exhale, release. Last one. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, get a little higher. Take another sip of air. And exhale, release. Plant your palms underneath your shoulders. Tuck your toes. I'm going to use my knees. We're all pressing back into puppy pose. As a gentle transition before we find down dog. And slowly transition to down dog. As you're ready, meet here. Good, now in down dog, gaze back at your feet. Step your big toes together, the back of the mat. Inhale, roll forward to plank. Squeeze your thighs together. Curl those glutes underneath. Hug those imaginary fingers. Roll to the outer edge of your right foot. Now here we have some options because this might already be tough for you. You can stagger the feet and place your left foot in front of your right foot. You can also step your left foot to be in line a little bit with your belly button or in front of that right hip bone, and use that to help press the hips up. Okay, so you can be here, you can be here, you can be here. You could also be in our floating gate pose. Wonderful option as well, okay? So side plank. Gaze wherever it feels good on your neck. Press away through all 4 corners of that right hand. Good, roll back to center, plant your left hand, roll to the outer edge of the left foot, reach right fingertips up, choose whichever variation that you would like here. Good, and come back to down dog. Inhale, right leg high. Squeeze heel to butt, roll that hip open. Inhale, lengthen leg, square hip. Exhale, step it forward. Inhale, right fingertips high. Exhale, bend your elbow, roll the chest open. Inhale, reach up and forward. Exhale, bend elbow, roll chest open. Inhale, reach up and forward. Exhale, bend elbow, lunge, roll your chest open. Good. Now from here, we're gonna transition back to our side plank. So you might lower that back knee to do a floating gait. You might just toe heel that right foot back to be more in line with your belly button. Turn the right toes out, roll to the outer edge of the left foot and reach up and press those hips up high. Or you might try to step the right foot to stagger in front of the left or be on top of the left foot. And gently come back, plant the right hand, down dog. Inhale the left leg high, bend your knee, square, roll that hip open. Gaze forward, inhale, lengthen leg, square hip. Exhale, step left foot forward. Inhale, left fingertips high. Exhale, bend your elbow, roll your heart open. Inhale, reach up and forward, press front leg straight. Exhale, bend elbow, lunge, roll that heart open. Inhale, reach up, lengthen forward. Exhale, bend that elbow, roll your heart open. And then here are your options again. No matter what, press down into all four corners of that right hand, roll to the outer edge of the right foot, draw the belly in, bridge the hips up. Really press down into the outer edge of that right foot. And slowly come back to down dog. Inhale, forward plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale, low cobra, stretch that heart forward. Maybe high cobra. Maybe up dog as you press down into the feet so much you feel the kneecaps lift. Curl those gluteal folds to clamp down on the backs of your thighs. Press the back of your head into that imaginary resistance. Sides of the neck are long. And exhale, down dog. And slowly lower to your knees. Find a child's pose. Stay here for a couple more breaths. And as we start to move towards Wild Thing, we're going to try it on its own so that we can have an idea of what it feels like. And then we're going to add it into our flow and see what that feels like, okay? So you are more than welcome to stick with the gate pose with the back knee down. It takes more weight off of your wrists. Maybe you're just feeling like doing a more gentle version of this today. Whatever feels appropriate for you, that is more than accessible to you. If you feel that you would like to try it, go for it, okay? But I'm gonna do it both ways. So we'll do it the gate version way and then we'll do the full expression of Wild Thing just to, again, get our bodies a little bit used to and warmed up to this idea as our brain also adjusts to maybe doing something new or doing it slower and breaking it down. So go ahead and sit back on your heels with me if you haven't already for a moment. A couple of things that really helped me appreciate and kind of lean into Wild Thing, especially as I started paying attention to it as kind of a foundational transition pose in my practice. And it might not be that for you, but I love breaking down kind of the nuance of the body. So a couple of things. This really strong lift of the belly and clamping down of the gluteal fold on the hamstrings, or using this really specific lower layer of our gluteus maximus to come into more hip extension, is going to be really useful here. So that's one area to focus on. Another area is really pressing down into whatever's connecting to the mat. So in a traditional wild thing, it's going to be that landed hand. It's going to be the outer edge of the long legs foot, and it's going to be the ball or maybe even the entire foot of the bent leg, okay? None of that made sense, don't worry, but press down into whatever is connecting to the earth. There. The long-winded meets the more concise Emily here. And the other thing is for that really active stretching of the sides of your chest forward. Again, imagine someone had hooked their thumbs underneath the backs of your armpits, or was grabbing your shoulder blades and just pulling your heart up, up, up towards your chin, okay? All of those things. So squeezing the gluteal fold, actively press down into whatever is connecting to the earth, stretching that heart actively forward. And then last thing is that lifted arm. Make sure that armpit is turning to face the chin so that it creates more space in the neck. Okay, so I'll stop talking finally, and let's just put it together, okay? So we meet in down dog. Step the feet together, big toes touch at the back of the mat. Inhale, roll forward, plank pose. Exhale, roll to the outer edge of the right foot. Lift left fingertips to the sky. I lied, okay, so you're gonna stagger that left foot forward so that you can lower the right knee. And we're gonna find that floating gate pose. Left leg lifts. Squeeze your left heel towards your butt. Squeeze that gluteal fold to send the hip forward, so that active extension in the hip, active back foot. Press down into that bottom hand, watch the shoulder, send the sides of the chest forward. Now begin to roll and lift the chest to the sky so you can land those left toes. Bridge the hips up, press everything powerfully into the earth that's connecting to the earth. Reach that lifted arm up, turn the palm to face down, reach up and overhead. Now if this feels super crappy on the shoulder, place the back or the palm of the hand on the back of the head. Keep the arm close to the face and press your head into the back of your hand, or the back of your head into your hand. Good, and let's all release. Come back through your floating gate pose. Step your left foot forward. Plant your palms. Square your right toes behind you. Press that back thigh up. Press your front leg straight or straightish. Inhale to lunge. Exhale, press it straightish. Inhale to lunge. Step back into plank. Big toes touch at the back of the mat. Let's try this with the other side. So let's lower the left knee first. Preemptive strike. Spin the left toes out to the left, floating gate. Bend your right knee. And remember the 4 points that we need to remember here. Gluteal fold, squeeze, send that right hip forward, both hips really, but the right hip especially. Send that chest forward. Press everything down into the earth that's meeting the earth as the right toes or the ball of the foot connect. Press down into that too. Right arm reaches up, palm turns down. Look underneath that lifted arm or plant the palm on the back of the head and press the head into the hand. And release, floating gate, gaze forward. Step right foot forward. Square left toes behind you. Inhale, high lunge, lengthen front to back. Exhale, press front leg straight. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, press it straight. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, press it straight. Inhale, lunge. Plant your palms, step back to down dog. Good. Now, let's try Wild Thing. And if you need to change your mind in the middle and go for the gate pose version, it's there for you. We've already gone through it, okay? Inhale, step those feet together, big toes touch at the back of the mat. Shift forward through plank. So we want the shoulders to be stacked over wrists first. Roll to the outer edge of the right foot. Left arm reaches up. Bridge those hips up, curl those sit bones under, clamp the gluteal fold onto the hamstring. Now, float that left foot, squeeze heel to butt. Begin to roll the heart and chest open to the sky. Plant the left toes. Press everything down into the earth that is connected to the earth. Send the sides of the chest up, up, up. Lift your heart towards your chin. Reach that top arm up and overhead, palm faces down. Wild Thing. And slowly come back. We meet in down dog. Take a couple of deep breaths here. Now, same thing other side. Step feet together, back of the mat. Roll forward plank, inhale. Exhale, side plank. Float right foot, squeeze the heel to the butt, bend the knee. Plant the right toes outside of the left thigh. Press everything down into the earth. Curl those gluteal folds under. Stretch your heart up, up, up. Lift that top hand, palm faces down. Wild Thing. And go ahead and meet back in down dog. Lower the knees, untuck the toes, sink hips to heels, child's pose. All right, so let's put all of that together, because why not? Feel free to play with it. Feel free to change your mind. Stay curious about what helps you to feel better in your skin, okay? And what really creates the most joy and curiosity in this practice about your capabilities and what actually feels good, even if you are super capable. Maybe doing a full Wild Thing doesn't feel good today. Maybe back off a little bit, okay? Play with all of it. They're all options here. And what I love the most about being a human is that we get to change our minds. So we meet in down dog. Apparently I'm feeling very long-winded today. Excuse me while I step down off of my weird little soapbox or pulpit and get back onto a yoga mat. All right. Inhale, right heel to the sky. Bend your knee. Squeeze heel to butt. And open up your hip. Inhale, gaze forward, lengthen leg, square hip. Exhale, step forward. High lunge. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, bend, elbow, magnetize it towards that back heel. Inhale, reach up, press front leg straight, reach forward. Exhale, lunge, roll it open, squeeze elbow to heel. Last one, inhale, reach up and forward. Exhale, bend elbow to heel. Squeeze elbow to heel. Now, from here, side plank, transition, Wild Thing. Choose your version of Wild Thing that you're gonna do. I like to press my front leg straight, roll to the outer edge of my back foot, lift knee up, up, up to the sky, squeeze heel to butt, slowly plant that right foot, lift hips, lift heart, Gaze out towards that lifted hand. And slowly roll back into down dog. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, bend knee, squeeze heel to butt. Roll hip open. Inhale, lengthen leg square, hip, gaze forward. Exhale, step forward. Inhale, left fingertips high. Exhale, bend elbow, roll heart open. Inhale, reach up and forward, press front leg straight. Exhale, bend elbow, roll it open. Inhale, reach up and forward, press your front leg straight. Exhale, bend elbow, roll it open. Choose your version. Change your mind if you need to. Roll through side plank first. Press everything that's touching the earth into the earth. Squeeze your butt. Stretch your heart up and forward towards your chin. And reach forward with that lifted hand. Palm faces down. Spacious neck. And come back through down dog. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, step forward. Step your feet wide, bend your knees generously. Lift your belly away from your thighs, but get that active rib to thigh contact for your ragdoll. Of course, if that's possible for you, it might not be, and that's okay. Just imagine someday that that's the direction that you're going towards and that it might happen. Release your fingertips to the mat. Bend your knees generously, roll up to rise. Reach up and look up. Exhale, bend your elbows wide, squeeze shoulder blades together, a little lengthen your heart away from your low back. Release hands to sides and stand tall. Close your eyes. And take a moment and notice. Notice how your body feels here from when we first started. Maybe there's that connection to the heartbeat, or tingles or warmth, or maybe just that overall sense of feeling more alive, more connected and in tune with this container of skin. Good. Slowly float your eyes open. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, plant your palms, step back to down dog. Pedal those feet out, bending one knee and then the other. As we transition into pigeon prep to open up hips and low back by extension, I invite you to explore maybe figure 4 on your back if you tend to have really tight hips or kind of cranky knees. Might be a little more gentle. Inhale, right heel to the sky. Exhale, outer edge of the right foot all the way to the outer edge of the right knee. Come down on the mat. Right toes in line-ish with the left wrist. Right knee in line-ish with the right wrist. Shin bone does not need to be parallel. but it could be. Just isn't in my body. Right knee is trying to move outside of the right hip. Maybe it makes it there, maybe it doesn't. Don't worry about that. Plant the top of the back foot. Gaze back at the back foot. If you can see your big toe, make it disappear behind your inner heel. Okay. Lift the belly, press down into that front shin bone. Ooh, almost said a dirty word there. Send your hips back, low belly in, knit those low ribs in, walk your hands forward. Active, active, active pigeon pose in that front leg to start. So pressing down, lengthen your ears out of your shoulders, soften, 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 soften your heart. Melt it towards the mat. And slowly release that front shin bone. Exhale. Inhale, press that shin bone down. Feel the hips and the right butt cheek lift. Exhale, release. Again, inhale, press down actively. You should feel yourself lifting out. Exhale, release. Good, and now see if you can find a happy medium between those two, like that 50% pressing in, finding more active external rotation of the thigh bone and the hip socket. Slowly walk your hands back. Plant your palms underneath your shoulders. Now here, you might find that as a nice alternative and counter pose to this could be Wild Thing, okay? Or maybe that floating gait into sort of a gate pose Wild Thing. So tuck those back toes under, press down into that front shin, lift the back knee, press down into the palms, lift up and back, squeeze your heel to your butt, maybe open up that hip here, maybe shift forward to side plank, shoulder over wrist, and roll to Wild Thing to bridge the hips up, and meet back in down dog. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, pigeon pose or figure four, of course, always the option. Make sure that big toe is disappearing behind that back heel. Press that front shin bone down, lift your low belly, send your sit bones back, back, back. Walk your hands forward. Keep it nice and active here to start. Lengthen ears out of shoulders. Draw the low belly in, absorb the low ribs. Soften the back of the heart until you find a resting place that feels like you can actually rest. And then soften the pressure of the shin bone, front shin, into the mat. Inhale, press the shin bone down, lift out. Exhale, release. Press down, inhale, lift up. Exhale, release. Last one. Press down, lift out. Exhale, release. And now see if you can't find that happy medium of active external rotation. So you're holding the hip here, but also allowing it to kind of soften at the same time. Good. Slowly walk your hands back. Plant your palms underneath your shoulders. Again, option to transition back out into Wild Thing or open up that left hip in any way that feels good. Press down into the ball of the back foot to lift the back thigh. Press down into the front shin. Press down into the palms to really lift out actively. Coming into that three-legged dog variation. Maybe using that as your transition through Wild Thing. And slowly come back through down dog. Lower your knees to the mat gently. Come back to child's pose. Sweep the backs of your hands so that they rest next to your feet. And allow your shoulders to drip towards your ears. And plant your fingertips or palms on either side of your shins. Press the earth away to sit up. Swing your feet out from underneath you. And go ahead and lie on your backs. Plant your feet nice and wide and draw your shoulders and shoulder blades underneath you and down the back. Arms come out to your sides in whatever shape feels good. Go ahead and rock your knees from side to side. Next time your knees are over to the right, pause. You might stay or pick up your right ankle and cross it over the top of your left thigh above the knee to kind of help pull and open up that outer hip and the low back a little more. And again, with that beautiful human experience, if that feels crappy, as it kind of does on me today for whatever reason, I'm just gonna uncross my ankle. You can always change your mind. And with your next exhale, draw belly in to help lift those thighs back up through the middle. At the bottom of the exhale, they roll over to the left. Pause here before just automatically moving on. And then maybe play if it feels like you want a little bit more. With that left ankle over the right thigh above the knee. And on this side, it feels all right for me. If you haven't already, you can use this as an opportunity to close your eyes and really tune in to not only how your body feels, but I think more importantly, the effects of seasonal allergies on my voice. And slowly uncross your foot. Exhale, draw the belly and lift your knees back up. Hug your knees into your chest one at a time. Give yourself a little rock side to side. And as you're ready, let your legs go long into Shavasana. Plant those heels and feet as wide as your hips, maybe a little wider. Bring those shoulder blades underneath you and down your back. Arms can be wide by your sides, palms face up, or maybe you want to place the hands over the abdomen. Whatever feels like a nice resting place for you. As you again bring your awareness to where the back of your body meets the mat and where it doesn't. That natural shape that is you. this beautiful body that you have spent this time taking care of, and now you're allowing to rest in stillness. I will leave you here in Shavasana for as long as is valuable to you. Please stay and enjoy. Namaste.